What's going on YouTube? I am Chad, the Reseller Rockefeller. It is January the 7th, 2018. Back in the office. I've been out of the office for 3 days now. I haven't really gotten any work done, so I came into the office today trying to get some items photographed and listed. I also had to meet a few people this morning. Good thing, one announcement, I am hiring an employee. They should be starting, it's a him, he should be starting on Tuesday. So that's gonna relieve a lot of the stress that I've been having. You know, I've always had employees throughout this business and throughout my whole career of buying and selling. I've always had kind of an employee that's either on call or can come in when things get backed up, or when I buy a big estate, or I buy out a business or something and I have a lot of inventory to list. But for the past, I would say about 8 to 10 months, I haven't had anyone. I've been running this completely by myself. And when you have, you know, thousands and thousands of items actively listed and on numerous platforms, and you're buying estates, you're buying, you know, storage lockers, you're going yard selling, you're going to estate sales, it kind of gets overwhelming. It's kind of hard to keep up with everything. So I'm super stoked to have this employee. I'm super stoked not only to have an employee that can list, but also I'm super stoked to have somebody that's as intelligent as he is. He's not only very familiar with eBay, but he's very familiar in the reselling game. He knows how it works. He knows what we're out to do. And that's really comforting to know that your employee knows exactly what's going on. They get it. They understand the reselling business. And he is a toy expert. So that might come in handy. When I'm out sourcing and I'm out finding stuff, I can always give him a ring. I can call him up and I can ask for his advice, seeing that he is a toy specialist. He knows a lot about toys. So I'm really stoked about it, and I just can't wait. He starts Tuesday. Just wanted to announce that real fast. Today's video, we're actually going to be talking about buying estates. I've been asked this question quite a few times. I've been asked, you know, how do you find the estates? How do you buy the estate? You know, what are the kind of, you know, what's the steps that you take before purchasing an estate? And I figured, why not? Let's make a complete video of it. So I wrote down 7 steps to buying an estate. Now, these are my personal steps that I use to buy an estate. So hopefully you can learn from it and you can take something from this video and possibly go out and buy your first estate. I'll tell you right now, it's super exciting. I love it. I started purchasing estates about 6 years ago. Yeah, roughly about 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. You know what? I actually, you know, purchased my first estate back in 2011. I purchased my first estate and it was just so exciting. I spent $5,500 on a very small, it was like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home. I didn't buy the house. I bought the contents of the home. The woman that lived there was single for 30 years, and she was a hoarder, but also a collector. And I got her information from a friend of mine that told me that she was looking to sell some stuff. I contacted her. She ended up telling me that she was moving in with her grandson and she wanted to sell everything in her house. I was like, whoa, okay. I have never done this before, so I was a little bit intimidated. I ended up going and looking at the estate, and long story short, I ended up purchasing that estate for $5,500, and within just a few weeks, I ended up making my money back, selling a lot of stuff, and then within the next coming weeks, I made a good profit. I can't remember exactly, but I ended up like tripling my money, and it was an adventure. It was something that I definitely learned a lot from. But, you know, I wouldn't be where I was today if I wouldn't have done that. I learned a lot. And, you know, I stepped over this this boundary that I had, and it was a good thing. I really did learn a lot. So anyways, buying an estate. These are my 7 steps to buying an estate. So first step, obviously, is finding the estate. I have a lot of people that always message me. They always ask me, Chad, how do you find these estates? How do you find them? I pretty much just do advertising. That is how I find them. I put ads on Craigslist. I put ads up on, Facebook. I do word of mouth. I also go and I talk to realty companies. I talk to friends that may have a friend that works in realty. You got to understand that a lot of these realty companies and brokers and real estate agents, they always are coming across people that are looking to liquidate some items because they're in the real estate company. The real estate business. For instance, my grandmother got me a really good estate to purchase about 8 months ago. She was about to do a deal on selling a home, and the people were downsizing. They were moving to Alaska, and they didn't want to take any of the contents, and she immediately referred me, and I got that deal. So you want to put your name out there. You want to get your name out there. You need to do advertising. You need to talk to people, and you need to get the word out. So first steps first, find the estate. Now, after you find the estate, maybe you receive a phone call, an email, whatever the case may be, somebody contacts you and they say that they have an estate that they're looking to liquidate or sell. That's the first step. So you found the estate. The second step is to make sure to ask all of the correct questions before moving forward. So what do I mean by this? I mean, once you're contacted, you need to ask all of the correct questions before you move forward to anything else. Now, these questions can obviously differ between me and you and other people. Maybe you're not going to ask the same questions that I'm going to ask because it might not, the questions that I ask might not be the same questions that you really want to ask. I ask some of the basic questions that I ask. I'm not going to go through everything that I ask, but some of the basic questions I usually try to ask are, how long have you lived there? You or whoever owns the estate. Usually, when they contact you, they're gonna already offer up the information on what the situation is. So usually, when they contact you, they're gonna say, hey, my name's Betty Lee. I'm looking to sell my mother's estate. She passed away 2 years ago, or 2 days ago, whatever the case may be. They're going to offer up the circumstances. So your questions are going to be based on those circumstances that they already offered up and already told you. But you're also going to want to ask other questions. For instance, how long have they lived in the house? Are they ex-military? Do they have any kind of large collections? Did they collect something? What did they do as hobbies? These are all questions that might seem kind of stupid to ask, but it really does mean a lot for somebody like me that's buying in an estate. If she tells me, yes, my father was a huge gun collector, then I know to expect guns in this estate. If she says that my mother was a huge doll collector, then I can expect to find a doll collection in this estate. So you want to ask these simple but crucial questions. You want to ask how long have they lived in the home. You want to ask just a bunch of questions. So after you ask these questions, if you feel comfortable and you think that it's something that you're actually interested in, then you move on to the next step, which is step number 3. Schedule a viewing of the estate. So you want to talk to them and you want to plan a time to come out and actually look at the estate, so you can make a proper offer on the estate. So once you plan that, obviously the next step is, go out there, view the estate. Now there's a bunch of things that you need to take into consideration when viewing an estate. You want to make sure, first off, don't be shy. You need to be able to go through everything, all of the drawers, all of the closets. Make sure when you meet the homeowner or the estate owner that you explain it to them that you need to go through everything. Tell them that for you to make an accurate, estimate, or give an accurate estimate or offer, you need to be able to view all of the items in the estate. So get there, go through everything, make sure you get a good look at everything. Most of the times, you're not going to have a tremendous amount of time. You're not going to be able to look up every item on your phone. You're not going to be able to sit there for days. Most of the time, you're only given a couple of hours. These people are trying to either sell the home, they're trying to, maybe they're down on vacation. And, there's always circumstances that are making it very stressful for the owners of the estate. So you're never really given that much time. So after you view the estate and you're ready to move to the next step, you're going to move to step 4. Figure out what the owners want to do. Now, this is something that you need to ask the owners of the estate. You need to ask them, what are they looking to do? Are they looking to sell the entire contents of the home? Are they looking to just sell whatever they can? Are they looking to, there's numerous different scenarios. Maybe they're looking to sell the entire contents, but they're willing to allow you to only take away what it is that you want. You can leave behind trash and unwanted stuff. A lot of times, though, they want you to take everything, that you cannot leave anything behind, not even a Q-tip. You need to take it all away. So these are the questions that you need to figure out. You need to ask what it is that they want. Are they trying to do partial buyout? Are they trying to do everything? And you also need to ask, is there a time frame? Because this is really crucial for you. Depending on the size of the home, you need to figure out, is there a time frame? Do I have a week? Do I have a day? Do I have 5 days? Do I have a month? You need to figure out how long do you have to get all the items out of the home. So that's step number 4. Step number 5, negotiate the best deal based on the circumstances. Now this is obvious, negotiating the best deal. That's, we all know that. We want to negotiate the best deal. But this is based on the circumstances. And what that means is, if there are stipulations or circumstances like maybe I only have a day to get all the stuff out, that's going to help me in negotiating. That's going to benefit me to negotiate this deal down much lower if I'm only given a day or two to get the items out of the house. Also, the amount of valuables based on the amount of unvaluable items, like unsellable items, stuff that you personally don't see any value in, that you're not really going to be listing online. Those are all other circumstances that's going to benefit you in negotiating a better price. So usually what I do is, while I'm looking around the house during the viewing, I'm going to be kind of figuring out in my head how much of the home is actually resellable. How much of the stuff in the house am I going to be able to resell online for a profit? And then, so say at the end of my viewing, I say out of 100%, I think 75% is actually good quality resellable items, and whatever the other percentage is, say there's 25% of the rest of the house is unsellable junk. You're going to use that in the negotiation. You're going to say, you got to realize that only 75% of this is actually sellable. So the rest of the stuff I'm going to be hauling away for free. I'm just going to be doing that because it's not worth anything. I'm not going to be reselling that stuff. It's junk. It's unsellable. So you can use all of these different things to your advantage during the negotiation. Number 5. That was number 5. Number 6, get all of your resources together before making the final purchase. So you might ask, what do you mean by resources? This is what I mean by resources. When I purchase an estate, I already have usually 3 people on standby. My furniture person, who purchases all my furniture from me, because when I purchase an estate, the only stuff that comes back to my warehouse is the valuable higher end items that I can list on eBay or Amazon. Those are the only items that come back to my warehouse. All of the other stuff is sold the day that I purchase the estate or the day after. So this is what I mean by resources. Right after I make the final purchase, or before I make the final purchase, meaning I've already negotiated the price, they've already accepted the price, now we're just waiting to meet up to do the exchange and sign the contract. I'm already calling and getting all my resources lined up. So right after the contract is signed and I hand them their cash, I can immediately have my furniture guy, my appliance guy, and a few other people that I use to come to the house. They now will do a walkthrough and then they will make me an offer on all of the furniture. The other guy will make me an offer on all of the appliances, and then I say yes or no and negotiate with them. They take away all the furniture. The other guy takes away all the appliances. I also have another guy that buys the lower end items, like the unwanted items that I don't want, that's not good enough for eBay or Amazon, but is good enough for his flea market business. I'll have him come in, he'll make me an offer on all of those items, and I'll have him load all of that stuff up. Then whatever's left, is what I'm taking. That's the stuff that I'm loading up and taking back to my warehouse. So that's what I mean by, making sure you have all your resources lined up before you make the final purchase. Because like I said, you don't know what kind of deadlines you're going to have. You don't know how much time you're going to be given. How much time do they need, or how much time do they have to have this house empty? Whatever the case may be. So that's number 6. Number 7, make sure to go above and beyond making the estate owners or homeowners happy. This is a really big key to this business. This business thrives off of like repeat customers, word of mouth, people telling friends and family how good of a job you did. And there's little things that you can do in this business of buying estates that no other bigger estate companies do. And that is just stand out. Go above and beyond. Do things that other people wouldn't do. A lot of things that I do, I never see in another state, estate company do. I get together all of their personal photographs. If I find any kind of personal photographs or letters or anything that I feel is like personal and valuable to them as a family, then I'm going to box that stuff up. I'll either give it to them in person or I'll ship it to them if they moved away or something. But whatever the case may be, I'm not just going to throw that stuff in the trash. Other bigger estate companies, they just throw that stuff in the trash. They could care less. I go above and beyond to just make sure that they're happy, they're satisfied, with what took place, and all that good stuff. And it goes a long way. I get phone calls all of the time from people that I've purchased an estate from, and they say, hey, we heard that you buy stuff, a friend of ours, blah, blah, blah. They referred you to me. We're looking to downsize, or my husband's looking to sell his coin collection. They told me that you were, extremely nice. You knew exactly what you were talking about. You know a lot about, it's just referrals. People refer me to other people all the time, and that's how I've built such a big name for myself in my hometown. That's how people know who I am. That's how people know I'm the go-to guy in this town to sell stuff to, because I keep treating people with, the utmost respect, because as a business owner, I'm obligated to do that. And as a human, I'm obligated to do that. So anyways, that's my 7 steps to buying an estate. I hope it makes sense. I hope that you can take something from this. For all of you that are out there that are thinking about buying an estate, it's really not that hard. I hear a lot of resellers talking about just how hard it is and how much you have to do. Granted, if you're just buying, an estate and you're just going to load all that stuff up and take it back to your house or take it to a warehouse or a storage unit and try to just rummage through it and find some good stuff, yeah, it's pretty hard like that. And that's how I used to do it when I first started out. But very quickly, I learned that there has to be a better way to handle an estate. There has to be a way to where when it's all said and done, the only thing that comes back to my warehouse is the high-end, high-profit items that I'm going to sell to make a large amount of money. And not only am I going to make money from that, but I'm also going to make money selling all of the furniture to the furniture guy. I'm also going to sell all of the appliances to the appliance guy. I'm also going to sell all of the lower end items that's junk, that's not something that I want to deal with, to the flea market guy. That's why your resources and your connections mean so much. Having connections and knowing people is key to doing it in a big scale like this. If you want to scale your business and you want to buy huge quantities of items, you need to have resources and connections with people so you can liquidate those items very fast. Or you're just going to have massive amounts of stuff in a warehouse, but you're not going to be able to make any money off of it because you're going to have to hire so many employees to list all of that stuff online. It's just not going to be worth it. But if you have a good system and you have a good business model and you know how to make things flow, you can make this business really work. And that's what I've mastered. I've mastered the business of buying huge quantities of stuff and liquidating it really fast, and then bringing back all of the really high-end valuables to the warehouse and then slowly listing it online. That's what I've mastered, and I've done a really good job at it. And that's my 7 steps to buying an estate. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you appreciate it. And if you have any comments, just leave it down below. Also, we're going to be having some more videos here soon, so keep an eye out for some more uploads. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Also, hit that thumbs up for me. Peace.